Hi, this is Todd with CAD Productivity, and welcome to Civil CAD Consultant's Express Tip on setting element elevations using InRoads. There may be times when you need to move elements to the correct elevation or planarize elements that have vertices at incorrect elevations. Regardless of whether you're an InRoads or a MicroStation user, you have a few options that can help you do this. In this first example, I've got a couple of lines and an arc that are placed at elevation 0, as you can see here in the front view. If I tentative on one of these elements, you can see the z-coordinate readout is 0. So, if you're an InRoads user, you can use the InRoads set elevation command, which is located under Surface, Design Surface, Set Elevation. And this command sets the elevation or z-coordinate of all vertices on an element. You can run the command in either a single mode or you can group by level or fence. So if we start out in single mode, you set the elevation you want to move to, or the absolute elevation here in the dialog box. And let's say we want to move from elevation 0 to elevation 10. When I apply the command, it prompts me to identify the element, and I accept. And you can see in the front view it moved it up to elevation 10. I'm going to undo this to get the elements back to elevation 0 to show you that there's also an option to set a destination level with this command. So I could group the elements by level, and I'm going to select the source level as example 1 lines. And then when I move to elevation 10, I can set a destination level to move to. I'm going to move to the default level. When I apply the command, notice that in the elevation view, only the lines were moved up to elevation 10 because the arc is on a different level. And also notice that the lines have been moved to the default level, and they take on the default levels by level symbology. So they change from cyan to white. I'm going to undo this, get the elements back to 0. And in the next example, I've got a curved string that represents a contour that is placed at elevation 10, except I've got a few problem spots on the end with the end vertices that are spiking down to 0, as you can see here in the front view. I'm going to use the set elevation command, switching it to the single mode. I'll take off destination level and apply, identify the contour, and you can see that it planarized all of the vertices to elevation 10. With the set elevation command, you can also run this command on features in a surface. All you have to do is set your locate lock from locate graphics to locate features, and select the feature in the list, and you're good to go. But what if you don't have or you're not running InRoads? How can you set element elevations or planarize all vertices of an element? Join us for our next tip, where we'll explore different options for setting element elevations using MicroStation instead of InRoads. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and you can check out our InRoads and MicroStation training guides and course offerings at cadprodinc.com. You can also join our email list by visiting civilcadconsultant.com.